in my space, I had to, give me 1 second. I had to, oh geez, I'm pushing things I don't know about. I had to start a little bit later. It ends up being 5:55 instead of 4:55. So I came out here and I was, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Casey. This is the Guardian Oracle 33. I am an intuitive psychic channeler, multidimensional, interdimensional, galactic being in a suit here. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I was just sitting down here channeling my messages and kind of just meditating with my guides. And it's so funny because it was so cloudy until I came out here, and then all of the clouds went away. And let's see, I'll put that up there. I was going to put it in the window, but I want to be able to see your guys' comments because I do not have the charger to my laptop just yet. My daughter comes out, and I'm sitting here, and I'll show you a picture. Actually, I'm going to turn the camera on if I can do that. And for those of you that kind of, let's see if I can figure it out. She shows me, she comes out and she goes, "Mom, look." And there's this big old cloud up here, and she comes out pointing, and I was just talking to my star beings. And anyways, it was absolutely cloudy, and the sun just started coming out. So she points to this big dark cloud over here, and I can't help but take that as a sign, and that perhaps maybe some of you are starting to get signs from your children, or shall I say our children are very connected at this point. So it's time to actually try to interact with you guys a little bit more, because yesterday I was just hot on it for the channel. Hey Hot Rod. Hi Morgan. I got your message earlier. I'm glad you made it to the channel today. This is my new setup. Working on it. I just hung all the drywall. I need to put my second layer of mud on, and then I'm going to trim. For those of you that don't know, I'm a general contractor. I build cool stuff. So anyways, let's pop into this message. Wonder if Wade's going to be on here. Was Wade on yesterday? I told you guys I was going to look at the comments after, or the live feed. But I couldn't do that because I don't have my laptop. So once I end the live read, that was kind of all I couldn't go back and look. So for any of you that are asking questions, or I didn't communicate with, or it felt really short, good, I'm glad he was. Sometimes messages just come out like that. Anyways, let's open up this space with the sacred prayer. As I pray, I was going to ask, because the intention of prayer is so powerful, and that if we could all collectively, even if you're listening to this now, later, this is a timeless read, so whenever you're listening to it or it finds you, it's meant to be. If you want to come in at that time and space with a collective prayer of your own, I just want to, my intention for the prayer is to send protection over the entirety of this earth, and all of the beings that are trapped in addiction and the corrupt systems and programming that keeps some of the most beautiful light workers trapped and in a state of unknowingness, or because of certain things that they have indulged in or people they're around, it has a tendency to make them feel crazy as they're awakening. And right now, when I pray, I am praying for everybody, and I am praying to break the chains, because I'm going to use my light language, to break the chains off of everybody and anybody who has the heart of Christ, who truly, deep down in their spirit, came here to ascend and have been trapped in this matrix. There are those that are opposers and have chosen their path, and we need those people also, because they help enlighten us and they help us. It says ancient aliens, UFO, travel time just came up on notification on my thing. So here we go. Do it with the best of your intention. When we collectively pray together, it can cover the multitude of so many things. Prayer is so powerful, and a lot of times when I start feeling confused and I'm receiving a lot of messages, and it happens depending on, electromagnetic fields or pulses that I'm around, or certain technologies or certain areas or spaces, I can pick up on it. I know it's happening. I can tell when I, have others that are aerial viewing me, or trying to be in my space. One of the main reasons a lot of people are coming hot for us right now, and see the flies flying around, the little skinwalkers, is because we're not giving up. We're not quitting. We're not allowing fear, anxiety, suffering, pain. I'm grateful for those things. And as shitty as they are, and as much as they suck, those things are the things that have helped us to awaken. Because without knowing those things, hi Isaac, hi Wes, love you guys, thanks for being here. Those are the things that create that diamond, right? So if you guys want to take a minute with me, we're going to send out an intentional prayer throughout the collective. Whatever way you want to pray, your intentions, I just want to let you guys all know I love you, and that together when we join in our energy like this, that we can cover the multitude. The light is so much stronger than the dark. It is very powerful. We do need to integrate the shadow aspects. But right now we're going to kick some spiritual ass with the prayer, okay? So just going to take a minute and kind of clear my space. All right, Holy Spirit. My intention is to cover this entire universe with the multitude of love, the frequency of light. I pray that you would pick up by the cords that you are tethered to these beautiful souls and shake it and awaken them. Let them see their light, whether they're trapped in the drugs, alcohol, addiction, around psychotic people, whatever their space may be. I just ask right now to break the chains off of them. I ask to set them free, for we came to set the captives free. Te shoro te ke te o te o mona na ye te ke o te o pa ka te shototu. Azra ke o pa na ye ke te o pa ka te a shakara te o mona na ye te ke tutu pe a te tutu ti o kuru te o mona na ye shara ke trutu ya pi te a. Azra ke o tutu ya pi a te a shoro tutu te a ke te te tutu ya pi ke te a shara te a. Te kapaye te yoshoto to Yeshua, te kopave ya Michael, te oye nanana ye pitikitia. So mote it be. Thank you guys. I need to get in a habit. I would like to be a leader in the aspect of bringing forward the power of prayer, and especially when we do it together and we all set the same intention, it is so powerful. Okay, so for messages that I channeled today, I feel like there's somebody out there that gets messages through the clouds, or that they can interpret things through that. Like you're such a creator that actually you're creating these things that are seen around you. You have ability to send signs to others too, or have a sense of telepathy. I talked yesterday about being able to hear other people's thoughts. There's only one person, and I was also going to let you all know, in my time of absence of separating from my husband and going through a emotionally, physically abusive situation, I literally grabbed a couple things and my kids and left. As I say this, there's like 7 cars back to back, like a convoy coming down the road. My kid's father, the baby, her name is Jujubee, she just turned a year old. Him and I, before I was married, we were both using at the same time. And we started to experience telepathy together, full on. I could hear him. When it first started happening, I was like, can you really fucking hear me? And he's like, yes. And then I'd be like, all these other thoughts started filtering in, like, who are you? You know, it freaked me out because I'm like, how am I talking to you? And it started, I went into this trailer where his sister was living, and I love her. And these are people that have been trapped in addiction to, beautiful souls. Absolutely give the shirt off your back to anybody type of people, just wonderful people. They're from California, and they came over here, and I go into the trailer for 5 minutes. I dropped off groceries to a sister, and my sign has always been receiving feathers. So I would always pick up a feather if I felt like, you know, or if I'm thinking, asking, then I see something. That's kind of always been my way. Short story about my life here. His name was Charlie. And whenever Charlie and I would hang out, I'd always use this British foreign accent for some reason. And we always had a grand old time together. And we were free. The first time him and I hung out, I took him to the top of this mountain and laid in this dirt road at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And he was a very angry person inside in a way I could feel. And I was like, come, now get out of the car. And he's like, you know, we were going to smoke a joint. And I said, get the fuck out of the car and come sit back here. And he's like, what the fuck are you get out of the car for? I'm just fucking listen, you know, because he was kind of bossy like that. So he brought out that bossiness in me. So anyways, gets out. And he lays it down, you know, the car's parked, and this on the top of this mountain, this dirt road. Nobody was coming, a carefree, and all of the stars, and the moon was so bright. And he reached over and kind of got a little bit closer to me, and I got a little closer to him, and I reached out and I held his hand, which I didn't have feelings for him at this point. I actually kind of wanted to stab him a few times because he was such a pain in my ass. For some reason, this person was set in my life, and he actually started crying, and he said, thank you for showing me love. I've never sat, because he's from California, I've never sat and looked at the stars. I've never sat and had anybody do this with me, you know what I mean, just to take their time to go show them, you know, because things were high stress, and I'm like, let's get out of here. And when I want to get out, I'll go out to the mountains, and I like the night. I like being with my people. And I don't know how, but I guess we had both, in a way, had fallen asleep, and next thing I knew, and just holding hands there like that, looking at the stars, we had woke up, and there was a hawk flying over us, just going back and forth like this, real low to the ground, and he was just making his sounds, and we were just still laying there holding hands, and it was cold. I mean, it was about this time of year, actually. Yeah, it was probably about the end of November. Anyways, long story short, we shared lots of moments like this. So time goes on, and we go into his sister's house, and I always talked about my spirituality. He's like, you're fucking weird, you know. He goes, but I like it. You're different. And I could never talk to anybody about anything, but with him, I just kind of didn't give a shit, you know. I just kind of was myself, and I'm like, I had nothing to lose. I mean, whether I kicked his ass or kicked him to the curb, and I didn't have to hang out with him. Like, was not trying to impress anybody. I was fucking broken from a lot of things in my life and trying to find out who I was. And we had gone into the trailer, and his sister starts chiming in telepathy, talking with us. And I'm like, do I know you, in my head? And she's like, you've known me forever. And I'm like, well, who are you? And she just gave me a big smile and hugged me, and she goes, I'm your family. In the mind, to my mind, I heard her with her own, you know. And I'm like, are you guys fucking shitting me? And like, we all started laughing, right? It's dead silence. No mouths are moving. And then we're all sitting there, and then we start busting up. And I'm like, this is the craziest, most beautiful, exciting thing I've ever experienced. Well, being raised as a Christian, you didn't experience that. You know, I see people with tongues and all that. And, you know, I always felt so inadequate going to church. I never felt like, you know, I had to be somebody that I wasn't. I had to be... You dressed nice, you hurried up. Most of the time we were late. I was pissed off by the time I got to church. Couldn't wait to get the fuck out of there. I was hungry. I got screaming, crying kids. You know, just, it never fell into place in my life. So when we walk out of this trailer, it's night. It's probably about 11 o'clock at night. And we walk out, and my entire SUV that is sitting outside of this trailer had a million feathers, almost damn near touching, all going the same direction. And I told you, we weren't in there very long, not even about 8 minutes maybe, in a circle around my car. And I looked at Charlie and I said, you're freaking me out. What the fuck is this? Like, is this some sort of witchcraft? Well, previous to this same trailer court, a year previous, before I started experiencing witchcraft and, you know, the secret societies that are in the town that I just moved from, and they're in every town. I mean, once they know who you are, and they trust me, they see you before you see them. We have these auras, and some people can see them. People know this motherfucker's gonna come and awaken a lot of people, and there's a lot. You wear it like a coat. All of you wear it. All of you are magnificent. All of you have this essence and glow about you, and that's part of being a part of the tribe, the light army, is that people are going to see you before you see them. So they'll use mind manipulation, right? So all this stuff starts getting in my head like, oh my gosh, in the trailer over, a year before that, exactly almost a year before that, I'd walked into this gal's house, and I went in there with this, she called herself a witch. She did kitchen shit. It was, I don't know, she burnt dragon's blood once, and I instantly like sat back and kind of felt like I was falling asleep, and I was like, what is that smell? What is this? And I was like, I got up and got her ass. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Because once again, I'm not used to witchcraft. I didn't know about any of this. I'm like, these fucking devil worshippers, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, what the hell is happening? I went over there with this gal, and I walked in this house, and she had the ceiling fan, and in the ceiling fan, it came down pretty low, and she had like this crystal ball that kind of was sitting there. And I'm very aware and walk around, like I move my head. I'm in work instruction, like I'm very aware of, my surroundings. And it was almost like I was drawn into this crystal that was hanging. Well, the second it hits me off my forehead, this gal that was sitting on the couch, I mean, she had big old busts, and instantly, older gal, I can feel my back hurt so bad, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I asked her, I'm like, does your back hurt? And she goes, yeah, and she has something, I can't remember what it was, and I said, how am I feeling your back? And like, I started knowing stuff about the witch, her death threats, and a book she wrote about trying to kill her husband, like all this stuff, and I started like blurting it out, right? And previous to this gal and her husband, the witch gal that does the kitchen magic, and well, whatever, she's a Gemini, he's a Leo, we'll stay with that. Anyways, we go into she starts putting bottles to his back one day, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing that for? She goes, well, he doesn't feel good. I'm trying to figure out what his body needs. And I was like, ooh, do me next, and she puts it to my back, and when she put medicine bottles to his back, like a prescription or whatever, or herb, his back would go back to whatever she had, and he was looking straight forward, didn't see anything. So the second that she started doing that, I was like, oh, do me. And she put it to my back, and I didn't move. I'm like, are you done yet? Did you do it? And they both looked at each other, and she goes, indigo. And I didn't know what that meant, and I was like, okay, so, and then that's when all this stuff started kind of happening. So going a year back into the future, I'm here around my car, and I'm like, Charlie, what the hell's going on? Like, what kind of witchcraft are you into? Why are all these feathers around my car? You guys are setting me up. Why are you talking to me in my head? You're aliens trying to infiltrate, because I had no idea at that point that I also was, an extraterrestrial being myself, deeply seated. And I made him write on a piece of paper, and I pulled out one of my books that was in my door, and I was like, okay, I know one way you can't lie to me. Write, I am that I am. And he couldn't write very good, so he writes it, and I was like, okay, I am that I am. And he wrote it, so I knew if he was a devil, he wouldn't write that. I don't know, all these things in my head, right? So needless to say, this man and I had grown to be very close, and he's exactly 22 years older than me. Well, over time, one thing led to another. We ended up having a daughter. Not together, we got in trouble. We got pulled over in a car. Anyways, I wasn't allowed to be by him for 2 years. That was the thing, and I was pregnant with his child. Well, exactly, I got sentenced on 9/6 of 23, which I'm off probation now. I did all of the things that I was supposed to do. Never been in trouble in my life. I'm Army vet. I've been a good mom. I'm a cowgirl. I've worked my whole life. I've never been in trouble. But it's just like, as soon as I got to this town, shit started sucking me in. Like, they won't let me fucking leave, in a way. Well, the day before, okay, I love this man with every bit of my heart, and it's not an in love like that. It is a soul deep love. This is somebody, even if I was mad and not talk about seeing my shadow, he told me a year prior that he was going, when we had the telepathy, and I was like, he's like, I'm going to transform soon, so you know. And I was like, well, what the fuck does that even mean? You know, and I wouldn't let him go. And he's like, Casey, I'm not going now. And I'm like, please don't go. And I kept feeling like I didn't want to lose telepathy with him. Well, there was a few times, as soon as I started experiencing that with him and we could do it, like I could call him from across town, Charlie, you know, can you bring me a soda or whatever? And he would show up where I was at. And it was fucking so beautiful. It was the most... Hands down, I've never experienced anything more beautiful with any man in my entire life. This man is so fucking unique to me. And so literally on September 9th, I found out he was murdered. They found him on his knees next to his bed. And the night before, he had text messaged me, which we had a no contact order, and he said, all he said was, sup, because that's what he used to, you know, he went to San Quentin prison. I mean, this guy's, he don't give a shit, you know what I mean? And he loved me to death, absolutely fucking loved me. He wasn't there when we had our daughter. I was obviously married to the person that I'm married to now, not for much longer, and those two actually at one point were really close friends, and then they started hating each other. Well, when Charlie passed away, my husband at this time, he's like, you really sad over that motherfucker? So I never got to grieve. Not only did I lose my child's father, but I also lost my husband over the same situation. And I knew he was murdered before the autopsy ever came out because I was brushing my teeth, and I do talk to passed on loved ones, and I have these abilities. And he kept telling me, red car, son, David, and then I was brushing my teeth and there was a bottle of alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and it said poly and glycol, or, you know, a big word like that, and then at the top it said 99 proof. And I was like, okay, so 99% proof that you were, you know, and he kept telling me something that went on the skin, right? Like, so I'm like, what the fuck does this mean? So all of these things go on, and I just kind of let it go. And I knew, I talked to my sisters, I said, something happened. He got murdered. I know it. I know he didn't just die. And of course, at this point, he was still using, so of course they're going to make it look like, you know, they want to push the agenda of him being dirty, although he's on probation and has clean UAs, right? So it's ruled as a homicide. Nobody knows anything about it. Still hasn't been investigated. Since then, I've watched my husband literally turn into one of the most demonic, mind-controlled people. My neighbor, who I was doing a house on the work on her house for, sits over there and starts twitching her fingers, and I'm holding my kids scared because I run from my house over to there, and my kids start arching their back, crying and screaming, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, my kids are now when you start fucking with my kids, it's one thing, come at me in a spiritual way, I'll eat your fucking soul. But and I can't get my kids to a safe spot, and I'm in the middle of this corrupt town, I have nobody, can't trust anybody, started to take off in my pickup starts cutting out. So when I'm talking about secret society, and I'm talking about when I mentioned that today in this as the title, I just want to let you know, be prepared to start being attacked in that way the more you wake up. I am on the verge of solving a lot of very non-coincidental things that have happened to my child's father, Charlie. I know the police force, a good majority of them from even when they put me in jail, how shitty I was treated. Yeah, Wes, go ahead. I know I've experienced those people that have been very harsh, and a lot of the people that I was in jail with end up being related to my husband. And right before this happened, they all showed up at his mom's house at the same time. The guy, they wouldn't let me have a phone call in jail. I didn't get water, a cup. I didn't get just so many terrible things the way I was treated in jail. I couldn't get a phone call. I had money on my books. Nobody would help me. Fly a kite, they kept telling me. And I'm like, I have followed all the protocols. So finally on the fifth day I'm in there getting ready to go to court, I pulled the guy out, and I stood up in the middle of it in this tiny room, and he was standing by the front door. This guy was at the house down the street from my house. who works for the sheriff's department, who is also a part of my husband's family's parents' friends, who they both the dad actually worked in the sheriff's department as well. So with this being said, they're all in cahoots, right? I see this guy down there, and this is the guy stood up, and I said, I want to talk to your supervisor. And he's like this tall when he stands up, and he goes, I am the supervisor. I said, then good, can we stand outside so I can please talk to you? And then we stood outside. I said, look, I know my rights. I was a Marine Corps drill instructor for juvenile felons at a penitentiary for 5 years. I know my rights. I know that I get a phone call. I've asked for my phone. I've flown kites. You guys have treated me with it. They wouldn't let me work out in the morning. I had to lay in bed till like 3 o'clock when, like all the rest of the chicks in there. I couldn't go out into the yard. I couldn't do anything. I was in there, and then all the books got taken out if I wanted to read or look into a book. So a lot of those things happen. Now, that is enough to strike fear for somebody who's already, and then my kids are gone at this point. Then here we are, same time of year again. It's so weird it keeps happening around the same time of every year. This marks my 5th year of being in that town. And needless to say, the town's Mountain Home, Idaho, for those of you that are interested or that are also investigating other things that are going on there. I'm not the only one that has experienced this. There's been lots of cover-ups to the T. A lot of you are going to experience things that don't make sense, and that the more that you talk about it, the more that you expose things, the more that you share things with people, the more that you share things with people that you know, like my husband. His son's mom passed away of cancer. She had a little red car that was left to her son. It wasn't until I started seeing this, like my daughter would pass out in my arms, and literally, I'm telling you, I've never been so scared in my life. Fucking afraid for my life, for my children. I literally thought I was going to get shot and murdered and die. I didn't think that I was going to make it out of there when I left, to be 100% honest with you guys. My phone wouldn't work. I couldn't call out. I couldn't, if I tried to use Google and look up, like I was trying to call for help and send code message to anybody that I could to get to come, And that's the thing, anything I said was being heard. It's so hard to explain, and you can't just go and call the cops, okay? You can't just go and tell people, because you're going to get put in jail for stuff like that. You're a fucking loony, is what they're going to tell me. I'm taking your kids, whatever, because it's already happened to me previous. So as a light worker here, I drew back all of my energy. I came back. I don't even know why I'm sharing this right now, because this was nothing that I had an intention to share at all. So there's a reason that this is coming out. I don't normally share personal things about my life, and some of you might who listen, and I know that there's some of those darker, there's nothing you can take from me that could alter my destiny or your illusions that will work, because I am heavily guided and protected. I'm going to follow my path, and I'm going to stay on that, and I'm going to continue to share messages, and things will come to the light regardless, because all of these things that I can't control or that I am afraid of or was afraid of, I continue to send to the light, because they have a higher perspective on things. When you feel like you can't eat, or you feel like that will weaken your auric field to where you have a force field around you about 20 feet, 10 feet out in front of you, our auras, and those are very strong. That's kind of like our radar to pick up on things and our protection. I noticed at that time I couldn't eat. I was feeling really sick. I was feeling, obviously I couldn't grieve. I lost my kid's dad, my husband, who I actually, no matter outside of whatever happened, I do love I do love a part of him. And I don't understand it. It doesn't matter. It's been pushed in this way, and things are moving forward in my life at this point in any way. Thanks, Wes. Yeah, my email, you should probably still have it. I don't know why I'm sharing this with you guys. Obviously, it's for a reason, because my guides must be pushing some sort of something here for a reason. And I don't know, maybe it's to provoke somebody or to put something out there, because I'm ready to really evolve. And I have the constitutional rights, which a lot of these police officers wear a badge for. Your public servants. You should be serving our community. You work for us. We pay our taxes. If you wear a badge and you make a vow and you raise your right hand like I did when I swore into the military, we all do, to protect, to serve, to uphold the constitutional rights of the people, for the people, and you are not and can't, and you use that as a cover and you have zero integrity, you're going to fall. You're going to be exposed. I promise you that. It might not be through me, because I am just a person down here. But there are so many people that I have enlightened, or that have enlightened me. There is a swarm, and there is so much light infiltrated in your guys' little dark cult, or whatever the hell you guys have going on in these specific places. And this is so weird, because I never get on a tangent. So this is the part of me that's not love and light, okay? And I'm not going to say it's not love, but if you continue to fuck with the light workers, it's coming. The storm is coming. I don't know if you guys can feel that in my collective or not. You guys need to speak your truth. You need to put things out there. You need to not be afraid of your spiritual truths. And there's a time to be quiet and silent and to pray. And then there is a time when you need to speak up and to put things out there. My time could be short here. If I went missing, you guys would know it is what it is. I either ascended in my full body, or I'm buried in the desert somewhere. Either way, just know, no matter what you guys are doing or how alone you feel in your walk, and I know that a lot of you see the corruption. I know a lot of you see the dismantling of certain projects, headquarters, facilities, the people that are within those, the falsities, the masks are falling, and a lot of things are going to be exposed. And especially when we come together and pray for those things, it's going to happen. All right, well, that's all I'm going to say about that right now. My guides want me to read the channeled messages. So thanks to you guys for hearing my rant. Those of you that follow me, you know that's not normally my thing. Just so you guys kind of understand where I've stood in my journey. I had a Reiki master who did a lot of work on me. And when I was experiencing those things for Laura, who used to be on here, she was the one who was moving her fingers, doing stuff to my children, while I was holding them in my arms. And I asked her, "Who are you?" And she said, "I'm Michelle." So that is my Reiki master, who has done lots of work on me. And I previously just got done with Reiki about 2 weeks prior to that. She had given me a bunch of plants to put in my house, right? And I've also introduced Laura to going to her. I've taken my husband to her. I took in Danny's son to her, who's my husband. I've taken my mother to her. I have gone to her. And the last session we had, she talked about how she had retrieved a piece of an aspect of my soul, my 3 and 4-year-old self. I know in my soul that there are underground tunnels within that town, specifically out in the country, and I can hear that wind just whipping outside right now. I know that the water committees, I watched 3 grown-ass men, big boys, get out of a water manhole across the street from my house. I've watched so many SUVs, and I have pictures of them on my phone and their license plates. SUVs, like what an unmarked police car would look like, right? An SUV. And this manhole is literally in the middle of the driveway, and they just paved and did everything else around it. Okay, there's been a lot of work going on over there throughout the summer. I paid attention because I was building that fence, if you guys remember, at the same time. Didn't pay attention to it then, right? I watched 3 grown big boys, one after another, get up out of this tunnel. Now you tell me, how the fuck 3 grown-ass huge men are coming out after one another like that. Then it got to the part where they would start parking in front of, okay, and this is how my intuition works. There's a trailer over here. I used to build trailers for 5 years at Keystone RV. The trailer was called Hideout. Okay, this is how my guides show me signs. This is how I know things, because I have the intuition to guide me. Start taking pictures of these things, right? Just because people would get out and there's kids, birthday bags and stuff. And these people would walk all the way down to the end of the street. Now, my husband, his parents, Laura, all of them are part of the water committee out there that serves 43 houses. They all go to these little secret little committee water meetings. They have 2 pump houses, one at the end of the cul-de-sac and one right next to our house. They've had a lot of pump work and digging going on. Let me just tell you, if I am to call the police and say anything about this, it would never go anywhere. Never. But I just want for those of you that are going to watch this to know that I am aware of what is going on in that town. I am aware of the trafficking that happens in that town. Trust me, I'm hot on it, and I know that's why you guys have come at me, because when I started saying things, that's when his mom would say she knows too much. Well, how do I know too much? Everybody has a pattern. There's an algorithm in the universe. All you have to do is sift out the patterns of people. Just like me saying this in my fears, guess what? I already know somebody's going to come and try to create the illusion. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. This is why this message is coming out. That's from my interdimensional, multidimensional self. Let's get it done, because I'm ready to rock and roll. I probably should put this as a public service announcement and change the name and do a different video, but I don't like corruption. I don't like when people take advantage of children. I don't like when people use witchcraft and magic on children. I mind you, this was on a full moon that this also happened. I just want to let you know that it happens not just in this town, in that town. It happens everywhere. There's so many things, and if you have psychic intuitive abilities, start honing in on them to figure out where you're being led or why. And if you have a feeling that will not go away, I have dreams, constant dreams. They could be short daydreams, visions everywhere, right? And then I let it go. I'm like, I'm not gonna keep going on that. That could be a fear tactic. It could be a fear tactic, and I stopped. Really, truly going into the trafficking thing. I got myself safe and my kids, but deep in my soul, there's something that tells me it's not done yet. It's not done yet. And when it comes to children, I will find every resource and spiritual way and call on the higher beings of light, and I will gather a community to take down an entire falsity and false community. Whether that fucking water pipes blow out of that fucking earth and expose all your shit, whatever it will be, I promise you that it will come, because your time is up for corruption. Your time is up for hurting children and newcomers and people and your fake ass shit. So that's my message for that. I should probably she says I have a contact from you. You know, the thing is, my sister in her divorce, she's still dealing with his ass over, like, fuck, this got to be, like, what, 10 years now? And I don't hurt people. I love people. I mean, I'm not going to say I haven't kicked some ass in some fist fights, and I don't even know how I do what I do, because I mean, I've taken a woman up and thrown her, like, 15 feet while I have her fee-fi-fo from a friend here and still kick both of their asses. And I'm little. I'm about 5'5" and about 127, 130 pounds. I'm not a very big woman by any means. And that started because this big bully chick came out and sucker punched this dude in the side of the face who was minding his business talking to the collective of us about antiques and stuff. And I was standing on a picnic table, and I'm like, and that's a brother, it's a veteran. I don't know what it is all night of them bullying me, banging on the bathroom door and shoulder chucking me. I let it go. And then finally when I seen her punch him, I'm like, it's fucking go time. And for once, I Superman punched somebody right in the fucking teeth and knocked her down, and it was amazing until her friend came from behind and started pulling my hair. But nonetheless, she got thrown 15 feet away, and it all worked itself out, and that was a long time ago. And I have not gotten physical altercations outside of with my husband at that point, up until this point. I don't. I don't like doing that. I like being happy. I like being love and light. But when you poke the bear, and I feel these kids and I cannot and I will not sit by and just ignore my intuition. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. I cannot. I will not. And there is a lot of desert out there. There is a lot of desert, and there are a lot of places to land a spaceship and abduct and probe your ass. I'm just putting that out there to bring some humor into, something that is a serious thing. But okay, channeled messages, here we go. I should probably start a new fuck it. I'm just gonna send this message out. So if you guys make it to this far, congratulations. You've hopped on the fucking crazy train. They'll tell ya. Starlight, Starbright. Centrifugal force. Rays of light. Emotional release. Continue to maintain your stamina. You're being felt throughout the entire universe. Stargate, ancient wisdom and knowledge. Emerald tablets. You know something they wish they knew. And I channeled these all before any of this other stuff came out. Your power is locked within you. Okay, that's what they say. You know something they wish they knew. Your power is locked within you. So it's something that's inaccessible for others, even though that they can try to, help me say this, Holy Spirit, mimic your energy, or I'm hearing sovereignty right now. It can't be duplicated. It's not something, even I could show 1 million of my writings, right? And some people just know that certain people know things, and a lot of us have ancient shit locked within us, and it's a really big, serious deal. And some of the shit that I do, I don't even know what it means yet. I just do it because I'm told to do it, and I'm not told because I don't fucking listen for shit, and I have a rebellious spirit. I'm very loving, but I will be the first person to tell you go fuck yourself, and I will do it my way, even if I fall on my face 80 fucking times. By the time I get done learning, I am one wise motherfucker. Now, I don't know how wise because of that, but you know what I'm saying? I'm on the crazy train. Fucking send it. At this point, I'm done with the looking pretty, the fucking saying what people want to hear. I don't give two shits. I have a constitutional right of the freedom of fucking speech. I don't hurt people, but when I have the gifts that I have, what the fuck am I doing if I'm sitting on them and not doing or saying anything? Maybe this is a message for somebody else who also knows something to bring up or to expose, because there's no more sitting on the fence. You guys, we're gonna get fucking hurt if we keep doing this. We've got to really, this is what I'm hearing. Grab your nutsack and fucking use your voice, because that throat chakra's been blocked on a lot of people. Oh, what if I'm just crazy? Or oh, what if I do? Or oh, nobody's believing me. I don't give a fuck. That's why I have a YouTube channel, because on here, and I follow the guidelines, I have not said anything about anything, my freedom of speech. I have not, this is my platform. This is my space to say what I think and feel. I'm not pushing my agenda on you guys. I'm sharing my story. And if you already have similarities, well, that's probably why you're on the channel for some reason or some way. Numbers 646, 33 degree, first degree, young master. And I got young master yesterday, I'm pretty sure. This name came out at the top of all names, so I don't know who this is for, but the name Eric came out, and I want to circle it, and actually I'm going to get to the point where I'm all the way on the crazy train, and I'm actually going to start doing my intuitive writing and just kind of let stuff flow, because really, guys, I don't need the cards. I really don't. They're nice when I'm, it was a stepping stone for me. I do like the cards because I like to switch, bring different messages for whichever way I'm guided. But I really feel like that time and space for me is over for a while, at least till I get this new pack of cards and I'll see what I feel. But right now, it kind of feels like a more informative space that I'm holding here. Then I heard Chamberlain. And I don't know if it's Eric Chamberlain, but I separated them. And I don't know if that's a name. I don't know. I don't know the name from anywhere, but I'm gonna actually look it up or see what I can find on that. Evanescence, Shirley, and I spelt it with a C. Matt, Diedrich, and DJ are all of the names that came out. I turned the paper over to yesterday's, and it says Turbulence. Well, it can't get any fucking bumpier than this, can it? I'm not afraid of the turmoil. I don't think a lot of you, Tina, Morgan, Hot Rod, I mean, how many people have we all lost here, in the last couple of years? How relationships, friends, really lost a lot of people that they can't go where we're going. They don't have the gumption or the balls to really, and I know about the 33 degree, and I picked up on that as well. And, my mom and I were talking today, and she was talking about because I was talking about the 33 degrees, and she goes, yes, and she goes, if I find out that they're fucking corrupt like the Illuminati, and they're, because the Templars were supposed to. And I said, Mom, there is good and bad in all of them. And personally, they're Freemasons in an old brick building here. There's biker clubs. I ride bikes. These people sell dope, smoke dope, rape women, fucking piece of shit, right? Just fucking drag a woman around by her hair. They all share the same woman. They keep her doped up. Cops won't fucking drug bust anybody who's on felony probation for 5 years, but I get piss tested once a week on misdemeanor, and I didn't even have a fucking drug offense, nor did I have drugs on me, ever. Or was anything that was in that car ever was mine, but because the person driving it did not take the ownership for it, and we both got charged for it, because we ain't no fucking rats. Either way, we never turned on each other, and that was the whole big fucking ordeal, which I could give two shits less about, because that just opened my eyes. There's a reason I got into the system, because the whole time I was in there, and they kept me in, when I went to jail, they kept me in that interrogation room all night. When I walked in that jail, right, not one fucking soul. You couldn't see another person. It looked like that bitch was abandoned. Come the next day, you could finally start seeing a few people trickle in. And this is on a fucking Friday. What was it? Was it a Wednesday? It was January 20, I want to say 29th is when I got out. And I went in, I can't remember, but it was fucking freezing in there. It was so fucking cold, I couldn't stand it. Didn't get no food. I didn't want to eat the food they gave me because I thought they were trying to poison me. Then I sit there. They have triangles on the walls, right? On the floors, they have numbers. I'm like, what kind of fucking interrogation room has triangles and fucking numbers? But it looks like that padded stuff for people that hit their head, but only in a triangle above the table that's there. And different numbers, okay? For somebody who's psychic and somebody who has these, and every time I would be picking up telepathy, because Charlie was also in jail with me at the same time. I could still talk. We were still talking in the mines there. And he's like, babe, you'll get it. And he just kept telling me, you'll get it. And then if I could, I know it sounds really crazy, but I could look through the wall, right? And I could see who was sitting on the other side. I could see those two men. And there's another gal. And in my mind, there's a code on the wall, and I knew the code to unlock that door. And every time I would pick a number or put them in a sequence, the only time they fucking made that beep sound is when the main door was closing or opening. Like I said, nobody was in the jail going in or out, right? But every time I would get a code or, you know what I mean, put shit together, I would hear the beep. And then finally, I'm like, you know what? and I could look at the sheriff, I could look at this deputy, and I could be like, you're sleeping with your wife's sister. Like, I knew all these things about this sheriff's department. And this guy goes, yeah, the first guy that waves a bag of dope in your face, I'm sure you'll fuck him. And I said, excuse me? And I said, don't worry, when I get out of jail here, I'm going to save this community and I'm going to come spread love and light. And he goes, yep, sure you are. Well, here the fuck I am. So from that point on, I have been marked in such a way. So come to find out, the family that I married into, right, are also part of the corrupt system as well, which is fucking hilarious. But it's sick. It's fucking sick. And it's like for 5 years. And I used to travel to that Mountain Home, Idaho. I was married for 13 years to my husband, who I love my kids' dad. And it wasn't until I would come to Mountain Home and come and visit my mom. And we actually got engaged out in Mountain Home, out on her ranch. For 10 years, I came and fucking visited my mom in that town. And it wasn't until the very end of me, I stopped coming. But out of all the places, I stopped coming visiting. My marriage starts falling apart as soon as I stopped visiting my mom. Everything in my life starts falling apart because I wasn't coming anymore to visit. I don't know what the fuck it was. But then, because I didn't have shit, I was very sick. I've had 3 near-death experiences in my time. I don't even know how the fuck I'm still alive, to be quite honest with you. Well, I do know, but all of these things, I start drawing this map of my life and noticing all these connections. And I don't know if you guys also feel that way about parts of your life or why you experienced or went through certain things. And I'm not saying it's all bad, because honestly, I would not change one thing that I've been through. Not one. I love Charlie and I miss him to death, but the connection that we share now, like when he died, like I cared about him. Okay, because he was a good friend and he was loyal and he was always there. Always there if I called him. That motherfucker was there, swear to God, didn't matter. And it was the love of, it was so out of this fucking world. I know him from so many other lifetimes. Like, this is my this is an ascended master, okay, that came down and I experienced this with. And he died literally a day after our 1 year was up from not being able to talk to each other, to the fucking day, murdered, on his knees. This man wouldn't get on his knees to fucking tie his shoe, okay? I told you to San Quentin, like, he don't fucking get on his knees for nobody. He will call you out. He is a rowdy, wild, fuck you, spit in your face, but also the kindest, most loving. If you disrespect him, you're gonna get it. I'm telling you that. So now he's on the other side, or, well, he's right next to me, but whatever that they thought they would take, it only made us so much stronger. And now I talk to him all the time, you know, and it's such a stronger bond. And our daughter, she's got this gift, and it's just insane. And what fucked and sucks is I went to go have Reiki when I was pregnant with our daughter, and that bitch fucking knew. She said she's a healer, and I don't trust you, Michelle, if you're watching this. No, I do not trust you. You know, I've listened to my other spiritual advisors, and this is what sucks, is she had somebody do some fucked up shit to her when her mentor, when she was a young Reiki master. And I'm talking sexually fucking manipulate, like tweak her clit while she's freaking in a car outside. And I mean, she would watch this guy do this. Oh, she's in a pissy mood, and just sick fucking shit. Sick fucking shit. It makes me sick to my stomach. So when I found all this out, I messaged her. I said, what do you think? You think it's cool to mess with other people's auric field and energy? And I said, what is it that you think you're going to change about my life or my destiny? Because that's the thing. You cannot give anybody power. You can fuck with as much shit, you light weaver, and you can do as much as you feel like you need to do. I don't trust you. I will never allow anybody to do energy work on me again, ever. I don't need them to. I have myself and I have my star family. I do not need that. Absolutely not. I would rather fucking get stabbed in the fucking neck than allow somebody else ever to do energy work on me, ever again. Don't trust people. I'm going to tell you that. Another thing, do not trust anybody. The only person that you truly can trust is yourself. You can trust yourself. And even then, if you're being attacked, they'll fucking tweak your mind so hard to where you even have a hard time trusting what your thoughts are. When I get like that, I get into music with no words, and I just fucking vibe out and do my own thing. I get creative, artistic, I write, I draw, because there's something in that. Anything that's shadowy or shitty like that, it's gonna fucking blow you right out onto the other side of that dark hole. But I'm telling you, once you can push through that void, and it's scary and it sucks, and all of this, you know, on the other side, it's a vapor, it's a spliff of time. We chose this, we knew we would be going through this. Whatever it looks like on the other side, that's the other side. But right now I'm living this shit, and this feels pretty fucking real, you know? So, it was a crazy message. I can't believe that all of this is coming out. And I'm assuming that the 2 viewers that I have is Hot Rod and Morgan. I love you guys. Morgan says, I have been in Wisconsin for over 5 months and have yet to find anyone near the mindset I'm living in. That's probably why you're there, to spread that. I'm okay with that. My company is great. Fuck yeah. I'm me best fucking company me got. Absolutely look back and see that I had to go through everything I've been through to be who I am today and who I'm awakening to be. That is exactly right. And dude, it sucks so bad sometimes. For me, I don't care what happens to me. You know what I mean? But my babies, to me, when you fuck with children, there's just something about fucking with pure innocent. I don't understand how people can be so evil and hurtful to them. I don't. When my kid arches her back and screams at not even a year old, and my other little girl, no. Abso-fucking-lutely not. Now Laura wants to sue me because I left. She had a gun go off in her house twice through her window, across the street, almost hit the neighbor's fucking house. The next day I went over there and she goes, yeah, my son shot a gun off in the house. And I said, oh yeah, how's that? Well, he was mad that I wouldn't vote for Trump. So now I see that I went to hang in her closet doors, right? And her son lives with her at 40 years old. Me and Laura were real cool, and then all of a sudden, every time I'd go to do something for her, she wanted a little extra paint, a little extra. Pretty soon, she was supposed to have a 3-foot fence. I built her a 6-foot fence, stained, fucking polyurethane on it, custom fucking. Went above and beyond for this woman, okay? Above and beyond anything I should have done. I had her closet doors all painted nice outside in between her house and mine. And go out the next morning, and there's a hammer hole in one. So, of course, I'm going to replace it, because I could say, oh, I'm going to put a patch on it, whatever, and they're just those fucking shitty wooden, you know, like the panel door, trifold doors. I went and bought her, because she wanted, oh, I really want this, right? And me, being fucking dumb and a good neighbor, State Farm is here, right? I fucking went and bought her $350 doors with the wooden slats, all wood, pine. Not only did I stain each fucking slat, but front and back by hand, twice, 2 coats, okay, and my time is money. I polyurethaned every one of them, and I went to go hang them in her fucking closet. I didn't have to do all that. I didn't. So now because I not only experienced that with her that night, but the day before that happens, she goes, I don't know, I just have a feeling like whatever's going on at your house has something to come over, you know, it's like they're intertwined. And the day Charlie died, that very same day, she comes over and she goes, I feel so freed. I've never felt so what did she say? Free from the 30 years of my marriage with my husband. I feel so liberated. And I said, that's great. I'm fucking broken, you know. And I said, I'm really happy for you. My kid's dad died. And I swear when Charlie died, it felt like a whole lineage of people died within me. It felt like he never got to see his daughter in the physical, which, I mean, he sees her now and stuff and plays with her in the aspect that they do, but he never got to see her. And then, you know, with my husband saying, oh, I wish you would have fucking watched me kill that bitch so you could cry, you know, and then, so I can't grieve. My husband's a complete fucking asshole. My neighbor's doing fucking magic tricks and bullet holes are coming out of, 2 fucking bullet holes came out of there. She says her son did it. It shot across the street to the people who are moving out because they don't want to be on that fucking road with the water system anymore, right? It just so happens to go right over to their fucking house. Whether it hit it or not, I don't know. I should have took a picture of the fucking window. She goes, I thought you said it was 1 shot. I go and look at the curtain and there's 2 fucking bullet holes through there. So, needless to say, Now she wants to sue me for $3,500 when the bathroom job that somebody else left and didn't want to do was $2,300. So now I get to go to court for that. I'm going to divorce court on top of that, and I have a child custody or child. What do you call it? Child support case that the state has for me getting state assistance against my second to the youngest daughter. So I am back in this system, not by coincidence, right? Because I don't believe in coincidences. 3 different court cases in this fucking corrupt system. Damn near almost at the same time. After all of this. Now, I have no written contract with Laura on doing any of her first initial outside where the tree fell in the house. Yes, I have a written contract. We signed all that. The contract for the bathroom, we have no written contract nor verbal contract. I bought all of the materials. I have all of the receipts, everything for it that I have to prove. She's a fucking liar. She's a piece of shit person. And I promise you, it will take everything that I have. And you can twitch your fingers at the judge and do whatever you're going to do. I really don't give a shit because my cost of labor costs more than the money that you gave me. So remember that as a general contractor who is licensed and bonded. Just putting out some things out there, guys. So if you're going through a rough time, you're not the only one. And fucking shit sucks sometimes. But like I said, don't trust anybody. Don't trust anybody but yourself. I trust my children, obviously. They are my entire world, and my children are also very awakened. We talked about that, so that's a lot of work filled in one spot at one time. We're a tight-knit family, and honestly, out of all of it, I'm just happy to be here and to be speaking. And I know some might deem this message as, that's not Casey's normally what she would put out. It's not. Normally, I like to bring the upliftment, enlightenment, and channeled messages. And for somebody, this is channeled, because like I said, there's always a hidden message and a hidden message. Some of it's for the corruption that's going to watch this, or the ones that are aerial viewing, or, astral projecting and doing all of those things. We just got to rise up, guys. We just got to keep going. These people are going to be astonished in the way that we're going to make the torches that we bear. It feels almost like the Salem witch trials right now, really, in election time. I don't know why, but it fucking really does. And I don't even know why I said that, but it really feels. This is what people do to stifle us in our growth, to make us not speak up or to be scared. Because if I were to get murdered or killed, fucking please, I would be so fucking happy. I mean, I love and don't worry, my kids are covered. I've got that covered, but then I'm really unstoppable because I'm in the truest essence, non-trapped in the 4th dimension, back to what I am. And you don't want that, because I can maneuver all of the things. And the thing is magic is great and all of that and all of the illusions. It really, yeah, Hot Rod, I'm fucking ready, man. I love this life. I've loved it. I love being awake. I love, when I go to the bar, sharing fucking beautiful messages with so many broken people. And a lot of people are like, you go to the bar? Yeah, I've gone to the bar. I have, and I have gotten to speak to some pretty broken-hearted people and get their numbers and watch them years later just thriving, and like, you don't even know how much what you said changed my life and made me remember who I am. And you know what? They don't ever want, Jesus says God's people don't go into the bars. They go to church once a week, and then you come back and fill your cup up the next Sunday. Yeah, but you fuckers are never touching a soul that's not in your, right, vicinity. If you're not reaching in the depths of the drugs, the alcohol, the abuse, the molestations, the rape, the sickness, the poor, the people that don't have a fucking blanket and it's cold as shit out there while you're snuggled up and got 18 in your fucking cupboard. And you drive past the guy, oh, I don't really think he needs it. Okay, you don't have to give him money, but do you have a fucking blanket? Do you have a coat? Do you have some socks? You see the guy stand out there all the time. If you give from your heart. See, and that's the thing. We cannot allow, if you feel called to do something, do it. If you judge only you can judge yourself. Truly, you can judge yourself of, oh, well, I might have drank a little much last night. I drank last night. Moderation is everything, okay? They are closed-minded. And there's some wonderful people at churches. There really is. There's some fucking crazy lunatic fucking tarot readers that I watch and I'm like, ooh. And they're not even talking about esoteric fucking, you know what I mean? Multi-dimensional, realistic evolution of shit. It's like Winter Twin Flame coming back. And I'm sorry for those of you that love those reads, but I fucking barf. I'm not digging, and I know I have some tarot readers that watch me. That's not for me. And I see some that do the same readings all the time or set the same reading out for Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And it's like, and these mother truckers are making a big hefty buck because a lot of the society's not awakened to love yourself. The best love that I you know, I'm going to try, when I find my true love, that motherfucker's me. Because I love me so much. I have been the most loyal, downright, wiped all my tears person that I have ever known in my entire life. I trust myself 100%. I take care of myself. I love me. I think I'm hot. I think I'm a great mom. I think I'm a hard worker. I love me. I know everything about myself. There's no secrets and no hiding. And, you know, unless another spiritual gift so happens to pop open and fucking voila. Even cooler. I just fell in love even more. But do you see what I'm saying? We always spend our whole lifetime looking outside of ourselves for something that fucking great. You can do just as much work, and yeah, sex is good. You know what? For me, I've just been energy harvested off of from the few people that I have slept with in my lifetime, and the thought of even sleeping with anybody again makes me fucking want to throw up in tinfoil and eat it. I don't have any desire for any man in that way, shape, or form. I don't. I fucking just do not. That is not even my mission anymore. I'm gonna sew those lips shut. That's hilarious. That just made me think of Hocus Pocus when he sews his mouth shut. Maybe somebody's trying to tell me to shut up. I was watching news last night. There was this African American gal that goes in there to use the bank, and they called it banking while black. And I was like, just the shit, are you going to vote? I don't know. Should I vote? I mean, do you think voting really, do you think it's not, let's just do this. People know when you don't pay your taxes, right? All of us have Social Security numbers. Everybody should have a registered Social Security number that when you vote, it gets clicked. You keep the other ticket. They keep the ticket. You see your name come up on a log in your state that says, yep, you voted for this motherfucker. Here's your serial number. You'll fucking mark, and serial put your mark on us for everything else, but except for when it comes time for voting. I think that's so ironic. But fuck it. Let's go vote anyways. I'm just saying. Whatever happened to integrity in the system? I know that there are some that do a really good job. And for those of you that are out there, I love you guys. God knows, God sees what you're doing. But there are, for me right now, maybe I should focus more on the light. But at the same time, I'm like, I've been loving light and this and that. And it works great, it does. But sometimes you need to bring down the hammer. Sometimes you got to have your own fucking, gavel. I almost said anvil. You gotta strike it yourself and call judgment on people around you. And I have been I call judgment on myself. Weigh my heart. God can look in my heart and know what I've been through and that I'm a good person, I'm a pure soul. If anything, my greatest downfall has been that I have so much love for people and I don't want to leave them behind. And I think that if I love them, I can make them want to find that in them. And for some people, or for some reason, people are just fucking rotten to the core. And I have entangled with a lot of them and wasted a lot of my time on these people. It's truly astounding the amount of time poor fuckers having to deal with an enlightened being fucking always being, guys, you think that irritates them? They probably want to rip their fucking hair out. No wonder you want a divorce. I can't take your kindness and love anymore. That's funny. Anyways, I love you ladies so much, and this fucker's not going to get a lot of views, but the ones that truly matter are the ones that got on here and watch it. I can't remember the last time I bitched for an hour and 10 minutes. Probably the last time it went in my husband's ear and out the other about, maybe you shouldn't drink so much and fucking treat people like shit and shoot animals and be a ruthless, hateful fucking person. But here we are. I don't know. Maybe you learned it from your parents. Anyways, I love you guys. I'm going to get off here. I am going to go make some... So we do this thing with, what is that? Romaine lettuce. Rinse it off real good, like organic romaine lettuce. And then we cook sticky rice. And you put that in there. And then you take flank steak, like thin cut flank steak. And I like to cut it into little pieces. And then I make a ginger and a garlic sauce that go in there with a little soy sauce. And you roll it up and you kind of eat it like a taco. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Anymore, like I could eat so much food and I cannot gain weight. I don't know what my body's going through, if this is a part of ascension symptoms, but I cannot gain weight. I can eat all day long and I cannot. And I used to be like, dang, I wanted to lose weight after having the baby. I cannot get over 130 pounds. No matter how much food I eat. And the thing is I don't like anything anymore. The foods I used to love, they make me fucking sick just thinking about them, the smell of them. I look at certain chickens and I'm like, oh my God. It's like, I want to have good vegetables, avocados, I just, even thinking about fucking McDonald's makes me, and not just McDonald's, just like any of it. It's one bite and I'm, nope. And I used to love that shit, and anymore it's like, nope, I don't know if that's like the higher essence of us that's getting ready to seed down into this being, like, so to raise the vibration, because that is a lot. Think about as you expand your soul and your consciousness, like it's in this tiny little fucking body. Sometimes I feel like, do you guys ever feel so powerful, like you're an atomic bomb inside when like you see children hurting, or you just want to like use your, like off of Finding Nemo, when Ellen DeGeneres is like, woo, and she's talking to the whale on the other side. I have kids, you guys probably haven't seen that, but I feel like that, like a sonar constantly like looking for the beacons of hurting people that just want to go and help and to deliver. And then I remember that this has to be good so that I can get all the way there. And I will say I have magnified in my, every Claire has opened wide up for me, so wide. It's been it literally looks like a hand flipping off in the cloud. I swear to God, you guys have to see this. I don't know if you can see it or not. Can you see it? Fuck you. I don't know. That's my rant and rave. I'm going to go eat some dinner. You guys like my little nook? I got a lot of work to do, but we're getting there. God, I hope you're doing good. I send you a big hug. I know exactly when you say, like, what else? I mean, you lost your dad. You've been through a lot. And now you can't have a fucking garden because it's winter. So, yeah, it's about that time where we're going to be digging real deep. So I send you so much love and light. And remember, anything you guys feel overwhelmed with, just send it to the light and just say, this is out of my control. I don't feel like, if you're spinning your wheels on it, if you keep asking your guides, show me again, send me the sign, ask, you know what I mean? And if you feel like you're getting nothing, or not nothing, or too much, then just say, I give it to the light. This is out of my control at this point. I need help with this. The light knows what to do. They are more capable, but remember, we have free will, and we have to be able to give that. We have to be able to give that over to our ancestors and our spirit guides, and to be able to ask for the help for that. My hair is absolutely wild today. Anyways, I miss you guys. I love you. I'm getting off here. What do you guys think I should name this read? I wish Taylor was in here. I'm sure she'd have something smart ass to say. The spiritual Fulton rants and raves. There must be a delay. I can't tell because I don't have my computer. I'm going to try to find my cord and plug it in. This read went a little deep and a little bit longer than I thought, but I figured sharing pieces of myself will maybe help you guys realize you're not as Fulton crazy. Taylor, oh my gosh, girl, you're going to love this read. Well, I really didn't even pull a card. I just kind of shared a lot about myself, and hey, it's like I knew she was coming, huh? That's so funny. Taylor, I love you. Girl, I've been trying to put out a notification at least 2 hours before on the post, and then I'll timestamp it on the live reading to schedule it. So if you guys do want me to start going a little bit later in the afternoon, is right now good. Ooh, that's a good one, Hot Rod. I love that. I'm going to use that one. Well, Taylor, I love you guys. I'm out of here. I'm going to go cook some delicious food and spend some time with my babies. That should be right up for you guys to watch. I'll switch it to public from private, and then I will be on here tomorrow. So let me know in the comments. Comments also help, obviously, spread the algorithm and like it. And then if you comment on their best times for you guys, like a mean, median, and mode of what time works best, I will accommodate that. Right now, my schedule is pretty open for the most part in the evenings. So just let me know. I love you, Taylor. I love you, Morgan. Hot Rod. I miss you all. I still do personal reads if any of you guys want to get on that. Probably going to get a lot deeper than I used to get in the reads. I have opened up, like I said, so much lately. So if you guys are interested, my email is angeldynasty33@gmail.com. I love you. I'm going to have a good dinner. I will send some pictures. All right, remember you guys can email me too if you just want to bullshit. I know I need to get on there and message with you guys, but I'm always here for you, no matter what, and you guys can always share whatever you want with me. And thank you guys for all praying with me in the beginning of the video. If you rewatch it, I just ask that you would actually participate in the prayer for humanity and the upliftment of just us down here, because I don't think we're coming back, but if we are, help a guy out, huh? All right, love you guys.